We're conjuring buildings and fighting monsters. That's right, it's Sorcerer City from Skybound Games. This spell-slinging city builder pits 1 to 6 rival wizard architects against one another in a competition to construct the most impressive magical city district. At the end of 5 rounds, the architect with the most prestige is crowned the Master Architect. Setup begins with each player taking a set of 12 starting tiles marked with a unique symbol on their bottom left corner. They also take a set of 3 raw magic transformation cards, an annual progress track, and 4 annual progress markers, 1 for each row, starting at 0. Next, place the market board center and separately shuffle and place each set of the vendor tiles, denoted by vendor level on the bottom left, over their vendor type. Deal 3 tiles from each of the first 4 vendors face up below their crate symbol. Place the rainbow tiles under the bottom of the rainbow vendor. My favorite vendor. I love rainbows. Place the influence rewards board near the center as well. Place the Year 5 influence reward card below the Year 5 position, then shuffle the influence reward cards and reveal 4 under the other 4 years. Next, separate and shuffle the monster randomizer cards by tier 1 and 2. Reveal 2 from the tier 1 in the first 2 years and 2 from tier 2 in the next 2 years. Set the matching monster tiles in a stack above each card. Return the rest of the monster cards to the box. Finally, create a supply of prestige tokens. The player who most recently watched a fantasy movie or series takes the timer and is considered the current starting player. It's me, I watched The Dark Crystal. It's alright, their faces can't emote. One quick note, variations for setup exist for 2-player and solo games. Check the rulebook for details. Gameplay occurs over 5 rounds, during which players proceed through 6 phases. Prepare, build, score, influence and buy, prestige, and cleanup. First up, in the prepare phase, each player shuffles their tiles and places them face down to form their city deck. It's just that easy. Next, in the build phase, the player with the timer flips it and all players begin to build their own district simultaneously. To build, players reveal tiles from the top of their deck one at a time, placing them in their personal area, beginning with the first tile drawn. All tiles thereafter must be placed orthogonally adjacent to a previously placed tile. Once a tile is placed, it's permanent, there's no moving or rotating. Players may stop building at any time, but once they draw and reveal a tile, it must be placed in their district. When building, players are attempting to complete goals. There are 3 types of goals in the game, listed by 2 features: category and resource produced. The resource produced references the reward type if the player can complete the goal during their build phase. Resource types include money, influence, raw magic, and prestige. The player will be awarded points based on the number of tiles in the goal. Let's look at the goal types. Group goals require a player to create 3 or more connected tiles of the marked color. These may be in any shape, but must contain the goal shield to be counted for the points. Tiles are considered connected if they occupy any of the 8 spaces, either orthogonal or diagonal to each other. For instance, this grouping scores 3 money. Line goals require a player to create a horizontal or vertical line of 3 or more connected tiles of the marked color. Again, the goal is only complete if it contains a shield of the goal type and is worth as many points as connected tiles in the sequence, as long as a minimum of 3 tiles are present. Lastly, the shield goal requires a tile with this specific shield symbol to have at least 2 other connected tiles with a shield of any type or color on them. If the tiles have 2 goals of this type on them, score each goal separately. Once the timer runs out, all players must stop building. Any tiles not placed in their district do not count toward scoring. One big note, some monsters, spells, and other tiles have extra abilities, each marked with an icon indicating which round it takes effect in. Prepare, build, score, influence, or buy. Next up, in the score phase, each player scores points on their annual progress track based on the district they built this round. Using the markers on their annual progress tracker, players count points for each of the 4 resources. If they exceed 30 points, flip the token to the plus 30 side, and no player may exceed 60 points in any category in a round. This information is all public, so other players can eye your progress, especially on that influence track. After scoring their points, each player then transforms their raw magic into one of the other 3 resources. Before choosing, each player may assess their opponent's resource count, and then they secretly choose one raw magic transformation card matching the resource they wish to convert. All players reveal their choice at once and adjust their tracks accordingly. In the influence and buy phase, players take turns completing the following steps in order of influence score. First, the active player receives an award based on their influence score. The player in first place wins both the prestige and influence reward shown on the influence reward board for the current year. Second place takes one of those 2 options, and all other places take either 5 money or an extra buy in the buy phase. One exception to this rule is in a game with 4 or more players, the player in third place takes the other option the player in second did not choose. Then the active player may spend their money to buy tiles from the market. All players may buy up to 2 tiles, but some game effects can increase this amount. If a player ever scores 20 money in a single round, they may also gain 1 bonus buy in this step. As each tile is purchased, a new tile is immediately revealed from the appropriate deck. Additionally, once per round, a player may pay 1 money to discard a tile to the bottom of the vendor's deck and reveal the next tile. Purchased tiles are added to a player's discard pile. Next, in the prestige step, players collect prestige tokens equal to their score on their track. The player who scored the least prestige receives a free market tile from the vendor deck whose level matches the current year. Finally, in the cleanup phase, all discarded tiles and played tiles are returned to a player's deck to be shuffled next turn. Reset all annual progress tracks to 0. Shuffle the monster stack from the appropriate year and deal a monster from the stack to each player to be added to their deck. Some exceptions exist for dealing out monsters. Check the book for deets. During the 5th round, gameplay is abbreviated. Once players reach the influence and buy phase, the influence rewards are no longer assigned as normal. Instead, the player in first place on the influence track receives just the prestige award. Skip the buy and cleanup step and count up the acquired points. The player with the most prestige wins the game. And that's Sorcerer City. The core game also features rules for 2-player, solo mode, and an add-on mechanic known as artifact tiles. I'm Becca Scott, and my Carcassonne skills should carry me through this week's Game the Game. Not worried at all. Alright, you can watch me and my friends play this game and other awesome games on Game the Game right here on Geek and Sundry. We'll see you there. You're going down, James Hudson. No, you're going down.